Psychologist, in a calm, professional tone, taking notes. Let's begin. During our last session, you spoke about your mother. One sentence you said stayed with me. She did everything for us, but I never saw her do anything for herself. I'd like us to stay with that for a moment. If we look at it without judgment, only with curiosity, what do you think your mother taught you about life? Woman. She sits upright, her hands folded in her lap. Her voice is flat, as though she's reciting something she's known by heart for years. She taught me to keep the house clean, never leave dishes in the sink. Wake up early, never complain. Smile even when I'm hurting, never cry in front of other people. Cook, welcome guests, take care of everyone. Be strong. Because someone always has to be. Psychologist, and what did she teach you about yourself? Woman. She pauses for several seconds. I don't know if she ever taught me to think about myself. Psychologist, what happened when you needed something? Woman, I waited. I always waited. First it was my father, then my sister, then my brother, then her work. There was always someone more important than me. And over time, I stopped asking. Psychologist, looking up from the notepad. So you learned that your needs could wait forever. Woman. She gives a faint smile, more like a mask than a real expression. Not only that they could wait, but that maybe they didn't matter at all. Psychologist. And when you became a mother yourself? Woman. I did exactly the same. I didn't even realize when it happened. I started eating whatever food was left at the end, buying clothes for my children while telling myself I could wait another month, losing sleep so everyone else would be okay. I thought that's what love looked like. Psychologist. And you, who took care of you? Woman. She lets out a brief, bitter laugh. No one. And honestly, it never even occurred to me that someone should. Psychologist. The way you speak about your mother, I can still hear so much love for her. But I also hear a wound. Woman. She takes a deep breath. I can't blame her. I saw her work until her hands were swollen. I saw her crying quietly in the kitchen when she thought we were asleep. She never had time to think about happiness. She was fighting just to make sure there was food on the table. Psychologist. So she passed on the only survival skills she had. Woman. Yes. The problem is, I never realized they were survival skills. I thought they were simply the way people were supposed to live. Psychologist. He sets his pen aside. And where have those survival skills brought you today? Woman. Her eyes drift toward the small mirror on the wall. She speaks much more slowly. I'm 45 years old, and I don't know what kind of music I like. I don't know what I'd order in a restaurant if no one asked what everyone else wanted first. I don't know what color I'd paint my bedroom. I don't know what makes me laugh. I don't know what brings me peace. I've spent my entire life learning who everyone else is, and somehow forgot to learn who I am. Silence fills the room. Tears roll down her face, but for the first time, she doesn't try to hide them. Closing parenthesis. Psychologist. His voice softens. You're seeing the consequences of a lesson passed down from one generation to the next. Not because love was absent, but because the model was. Woman. Are you saying I'm not broken? Psychologist. No. I'm saying you adapted to a world that taught you how to survive, but never how to live. Woman. She takes a slow, steady breath. Then, where do I begin? Psychologist. He smiles gently. With the smallest questions. Not, how can I make everyone else happy, but what do I want today? Even if the answer is simply, I don't know yet. Woman. What if it makes me feel selfish? Psychologist. It probably will. Because for years you've been taught that caring for yourself is selfish. But self-care isn't a lack of love for others. It's what keeps love from draining you dry. Woman. She closes her eyes for a moment. Maybe, for the first time in my life, I want to discover who I am without having to rescue anyone. Psychologist, with a warm smile. And that's the best place to begin. Not by becoming someone new, but by finally meeting the woman who has been patiently waiting inside you all these years.